Okay. But alright, I gimped. But I'm back though. I'm gonna try to tone it down a little bit because I'm trying to be a bit more serious about this. But okay, bovu, the biggest sore loser. Yeah, bovu, he was probably the most unacceptable thing I've ever seen in all of Call of Duty. Other than Permu, but we will get to him soon enough. Definitely one of the biggest shit talkers. By the way, nice to see y'all again. But I did like seeing him play. One of the best campers. I'll give him that. He's definitely one of the best campers. He's probably better at camping than anybody, in my opinion. Yeah, 100. To me, I think he was. On his good days, his shot is very good. He's hit some good shots. I've seen his games. I liked watching him. But I do think he's a crybaby. I do think, he's the type of person to kick his legs when he gets killed and he loses a game and he can't stand it. That's why you played Roxa like 50 times, and then you finally get a game on him, and then you post it talking all types of crap like you're better or something because you hold a grudge against someone that in your mind you should be better than them because you put yourself up so high and they've just shot, and they just come around and you just can't believe. You just had to make yourself believe differently. That's why you played him so many times, because until the day you got him, then that day is like you act as if that was the first time you guys ever played and you won. So you're a very idiotic person to me, and yeah. But I won't get on him too much no more, because I want this, like I said, I'm trying to be a little faster about this. Like I said though, I think he was a very smart player actually. Despite what other people may think, bovu was actually very smart. He wasn't just all camping. He is a defensive player though. He is, by heart. But by no means is he an idiot. He's not. He's actually pretty smart. He's actually pretty smart. He's the biggest crybaby on BO2, and he has the most freaking adult kid issues I've ever seen. Some of you may say that he's a Dumbo on a log, but hey, definitely was not an idiot. I'll give that to him. Pretty good shot. And honestly, he's very good at hitting somebody. He's very good at hitting you when it's opportune for him. He's very good at it. It's just he's not so very good at recovering. So you can catch him if he messes up, is what I'm saying. And as you keep doing that to him, he'll slowly start to diminish. So he becomes easier and easier to kill if you keep doing that to him on the occasion. It'll kind of mess him up a little. Yeah. Spartans was a bit the same though. Spartans is one of the most desperate people ever. When he's backed into a corner, he's like a scared little chicken that doesn't but want his head to be cut off. But he believes that he's a rooster, and then he goes right back down to a hen again. That's just crapping out a bunch of eggs and running. But xirqs, xirqs, was a friend but changed for a name. So yes, he was a friend. He had a different name at the time. I don't remember what it was, which I'm glad I don't, because he was one of my good friends for a while, and then suddenly he beat some people, and he beats some people, and he just suddenly thinks that, you know, that he's somewhere up there, whatever. I didn't want to show y'all this because of the lighting on it, but yeah, I'll actually refrain from doing that. I wasn't even gonna do this, but whatever. But yeah, so he started to think he was the man. Like this, he really did. He started to really he knew he wasn't, but just from this, you know, success in his mind that he believes he got, he just thought it was the biggest thing ever. He got whooped by a lot of people, yet he still believes that it never happened, which most of you don't. Most of you on this list, you don't think you've gotten beaten by anybody. You you think that you are one of the best to touch it. I don't blame you though, because you're supposed to think that in a sense, right? I mean, you're supposed to keep yourself intact, but the last thing I want you to do is lie to yourself, which you do, and you're not getting away with that stupid crap, all right? But yeah, other than that, he was stupid as well, yeah. His shot was okay. I don't think it was as good as people put it up to be. He might say he had a good shot. It was all right. I just feel like he didn't understand how to manipulate it too well. He didn't understand the ins and outs too much. He kind of stayed at like that base level, like base 2014, 2015. He never really got above that. And I think he tried to, and he messed it up completely. It's like when you try to go Super Saiyan 2, but you just kind of dial back down real quick. Like it's brief. Like you hit it, but then after that nanosecond, you're just back down to base or back down to Super Saiyan. You know, he stayed there pretty much. Now, do I think he had a good, I don't know, future with it? Honestly, yeah. If he could take like that little feeling he had in him, like like that down low type of feeling he had, didn't lie to himself as much as he did, because he degraded himself. You know, when you lie to yourself like that and you give yourself that much confidence, it's gonna leave you with a pit. It's gonna leave you with something that's gonna weigh you down for the rest of your life, or however what you're doing. I feel like if he didn't have that, he definitely would have took the weights off quite a bit. Definitely would have been in a better place. But other than that, I'd still put him at like 30. 30. Yeah, I'll say 30, because he wasn't that bad. Yeah, he wasn't that bad. Okay, yeah. He wasn't. All right. Moving on, I guess. Hybrid kid / fam, yeah. So talked crap about me at my lowest, and I ended up being more than all of you. Respects to hybrid blank, you were not like them. So hybrid kid, I kind of forgot who that was, but all of them actually started talking crap to me. But the hybrid kid was the first one I seen talking crap about me. I know hybrid mid, yeah, pretty much all of them did except for blank. He knew I had some growing to do, so he kind of did talk about it like that. Because I remember hearing him in his voice, the tone. He knew I had a lot to grow. He knew, but that's why he let me join, because he's seen me play. He knew of me, and he knew that, you know, that people looked down on me or whatever, and they thought they picked on me when I was doing bad. but most of the time of why anybody was doing that to me so badly. Like, I'm the most, I mean, I'm sure you a lot will agree to it, just to kind of shoot, diminish me even more and downgrade my of who I was even more, or who you think I was. But I was the most degraded, the most left on the ground, getting kicked while I was down. I was literally the dirt under everybody's shoe. I was the lowest. I was, and to some degree, he knew this. Which, I mean, what I said, I didn't really want to say that though, but that brings me to, that's why you guys like to see that though, because you knew I actually wasn't, because you've seen me at some of my best, moments. I just had so many bad moments for reasons that you don't even know about. But yeah, I'm supposed to be at my best every single time I spawn in. So Hybrid Kid wasn't smart. Shot was okay. Traps were all right. Not too good though. Pretty smart. Not too smart. Really? Yeah, not too smart. Shot was better than what he could do when it came to outplaying somebody. But yeah, he's very overconfident though. Like pretty much everybody else on the list, some way, somehow. But to me, even after that passed, because that was in like 2015, 2014, whatever, I'd still put him maybe in the 40s to 35. Because there were people that had more potential than him, and there were people that were just better than him. And he never really he never took it serious enough. He never allowed the game to consume him. He never allowed the game into his life as much as other people did. He did not put in as much love as other. You don't let BO2 take you, then you're not going to get too far. And that's what he chose. So, all right, getting to the good ones. Sinatra wasn't all that. And he wasn't. I actually hated the fact that people gave him all this credit all of a sudden. That he's so good. Oh, wow, you have a Cronus and a monitor? I think he did have a Cronus, but I'm pretty sure he only had a monitor. I remember a few people, like 3 whatever, telling me that he just had a monitor. But a lot of you lied. And I've seen him play. He looked a little bit faster than that. He could have just had a good one. You never know. He could have had good internet too. Never know. Whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, he had both or one or the other. Whatever. I know he had a monitor though, for sure. I could tell. Definitely a good trapper, but not as good. I don't care what anybody says. Not as good as portrayed. I've seen him play certain games where he hasn't hit a dang thing. I've seen him play certain games where he's just getting his feet knocked right up under him. He's definitely one of the dumbest players I've seen. He only got a little bit more smart at the end of his career, around the time when he quit. Not too bad. He's another person that thinks just because he beat somebody that was considered a top player that he's, deserving of some type of imaginary spot. You're not, because you didn't play them when they were, they didn't feel the same way you did. I can promise you that. How could they? They've already given everything they wanted to give. They don't really care anymore. Let's just face it, right? I think his shot was pretty good though, nonetheless. He wasn't very strong on ground game. He only looked good when you fell into his trap. But if you went around it or you made him fall into it, he actually wasn't that hard to beat. Not very hard to beat. And he was a panic. He had a lot of panic buttons. And I think he convinced himself that he wasn't pressured, and he forced him, not forced himself because he wasn't really pressured, but he had a lot of panic, and he went in under no pressure, as if he's not even, but he was panicking. Not really trying to say it like that. It's just more of, if you catch him, you get him in a you catch him in a bad position, you get him in a bad place at the bad time, wrong time, or you can even get him at the right time, and you get him. Oh, trust me, he's panicking for sure. He has a lot of panicking moments. I think that was his biggest downfall. Yeah, trying to convince himself that he's more confident than, but he isn't. Unfortunately, I'm not here to make fun of anyone. We all had our issues. We all, I'll talk bad about you, but I'm not going to sit here and say something good and then try to diminish you. Like I said, I'm not here to downgrade. I'll still say he's one of the best trappers because he was. There were not a lot of good trappers. He was. I know some of you probably like, whoa. No, I know he was one of the best trappers. He was. But I know I've seen him crack. I have seen his armor crack, and I have seen him at his lowest. I know how good he was compared to what he put off, or whatever you've seen. Apparently he was really good at comp as well. So pretty good. But you notice when it's a 1v1, it's different. Yeah. Yeah, you believe me now, don't you? But yeah, I still don't think he was that good as what people said. Oh, and by the way, I'm getting so caught up in a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that, am I? So yelicate, I believe yelicate is. I mean, clearly he was overrated. At the time, because people were talking about how good he was, and he actually wasn't as good as what people were. He was not as highly as what they were saying. Not to say that he was not good, he just wasn't. He was getting praised too much, though, is the issue. So definitely overrated. But I think, no, because the people that knew about him. So he was pretty much given the credit he was deserving of. Bovu, I think Bovu is, honestly, he's a little underrated. I think he was more so judged of what he expressed in his actions more so than how good he was. Definitely underrated, definitely a good player, and honestly, Call of Duty wouldn't be the same without him. And that's not questionable at all. Definitely deserves more credit. For sure. And then xirqs, I don't know how to say his name. Definitely overrated, and it's a piece of shit. Hybrid Kid, you already know what I'm gonna say. Sinatra, I think Sinatra's overrated highly. Very overrated. Super overrated. Pop's move. If he died, I'm not. So yeah, I heard about. I'm so glad I put these little words by the names, man. I said, yeah, if he died, I'm not sure, but overrated in my eyes. A lot of people overrated him. I think I heard someone say that he died. I don't really know. I don't know. I hope not. I'd hate to lose anybody from the community. I don't care how much I disliked you. I don't care how much you hated me. I don't care if we fought. I don't care if I have latest win. I don't care if you lied about beating me or you wanted me to die. I don't care. I hope no one really, I know some of you, some did. I know Lindsay did and all that, but hopefully he's doing good. But besides all that, let's get to what we came here for. Pop's move, yeah, definitely overrated. Pretty dang overrated. It's kind of the same thing as Sinatra, except Sinatra was giving way too much credit, like more than way. Pop's move, a little bit the same, not as much, but it was enough to be too much. To me, he was more of a ground game player. He could not really hit traps like that. On a good day, he could hit some, but more times than not really. Not a very good confident spawn trapper. He was more confident in his ground game. And it's kind of the same thing. He got a monitor, and then he suddenly just got more confident and good. He was more of a monitor person. He relied more on the frames than he did his own skill. So that's why another reason why I'm saying he's overrated and he's not that good in my eyes. He definitely could have been better. One thing I will say about him. Sinatra, the only reason I didn't say that about Sinatra or bovu was because they put themselves in a stick in the mud place or whatever or that's what section they're in. They put themselves in. But Pop's move, as much of a nigga as he was, because I know he's black, he talked a little bit of a little shit, saying claiming that he's beat some. But he didn't. Some of it was true, some of it wasn't. He tried to mix it in there. I know. I remember one time I think he tried to say that he beat Scrubsy. I'm not even going to get into that though, because I know about that. And yeah, man, just please be good. Please be good. I mean, even I'm gonna go ahead and talk for you, man. Even Scrubsy didn't think, he didn't think that much of him. I know he didn't. I remember him saying it, and I don't blame him because I don't either. I think Pop's move was one of the I actually beat Pop's move on Express. Just a lot of these games I didn't care about, and honestly, dude, most of them were dashboards. And as a matter of fact, Pop's move's friend, actually no, Pop's move, he did dashboard because he was actually famous for dashboarding. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, he was. He was so afraid to get beaten or posted by anybody. But hey, when he won, he talked all the crap. He beat on his chest. Yeah, he did all that. So definitely overrated, and honestly, the trash can. Good shot potential, but again, not really. He wouldn't have got far. Never would have been a good trapper either. The highest he probably could have gone is maybe a 30, but he struggled a little bit. 20, he could probably do that pretty convincingly. 15, 20, not too bad. But most of the time, not consistently though. A little consistently, but not for the long run. Definitely not. I'm not even going to say half. He could probably only hit like 315s maybe, and then after that it'd go downhill. So I'll say between top 30 and 25, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't. He was better than most people. I'll give him it. I'll give him that. Yeah, yeah. I don't see where else I could put him. It wouldn't make any sense. Bovon, I've been waiting to get to this fucker. Talked highly of himself. but needed a monitor, and to me wasn't all that good. But for his age, yes, among others, sure, but not that much. Yes, so for Bavon's age, because I think he was like 14, he could have been a little older than that at the time. I don't know. Sound a little young, but definitely one of the youngest players, and definitely one of the best youngest players and players in general. I just remember he was talking crap to me, and I played him. I actually talked about that in my other thing or whatever, but I'm gonna talk about it again because he's here. Yeah, talked a lot of crap. Um, but it was more talk than anything. Not to say that he did not have some wins, because he did. I mean, he beat. It's okay, but he got beaten by the. You'll understand that when I put him wherever I put him. He pretty much got beaten. Could easily get beaten by the other ones. He wasn't that bad though. But again, he's another person that relied on that speed. Not as much though as the others that I mentioned. He did know what he was doing, I could tell. He was not he was actually pretty good at jump shotting corners. He was pretty good at jump shotting in general. He had a pretty good accurate shot. I think when he misses, see, that's the problem. If you can get Bavon to just, go about like getting all stuck up in his ways, he's actually pretty easy to beat, because you can make him believe that you're off guard or he's got you, and you pretty much can just whoop him after that, because after that he's just going to try to camp. He's going to try to camp because he's scared, and then pretty much you just got to weed him out, wait him out a little, and because he'll try to kill you no matter what. He will, because he's trigger happy. So you can outsmart him, and you can pretty much get him after that. I think he had a lot of potential. I think he reached most of it though. He did, because he was actually very he had a lot of self-confidence, and he believed in himself a lot. One of the only players that actually reached, honestly, pretty much reached where he wanted to reach and where he wanted to be. Could he have gone further? Sure, he could have. But I think he got what he got, and I think that was, I think he, I think he got that. I'll give him 25. 25 to 30. Only because some of the people that I would think to be in the 25 could be better than him. So, yeah, 25 to 30. Hespers, overrated. Talk shit to me. Thought he was better because of frames, which was true. Hespers. Oh, and wait a minute. Bavon faked games. Yeah, I'm so glad I remember right after. Pop Smooth. Yeah, he faked games too. And I already said Sinatra faked games. Yep. I said XIRQS faked games. I'm pretty sure we all know Bovu did. And I think I said Spartans did. xirqs did too. Yeah. Just making sure we're going. I'm happy to say it. I'm happy to say it again. I don't care. Y'all did it. Y'all did it to yourselves. Yep. Yep, Bavon, you know you did too. Yep. All right. Hespers was another one that's faked the games. He was another one, by the way, just in case. Yeah, definitely overrated. Bavon was overrated too. I don't think I mentioned that, but he was. He was actually very overrated, in my opinion. Oh, because my YouTube's on both of my phones, and I just swiped it on the wrong one. But yeah. So Hespers. I think he was very good. He was one of them other players. There's like a section, a category for each of these players. A lot of them were the types to sit behind stuff and peek or turtle a lot. Or and wait for you to make a mistake or a bad move, wait for you to come to them. So Hespers was like one of those people, another one of those people that did this. I want to talk crap about him, and I will a little bit. Oh yeah. So Hespers, he talked a lot of crap for sure. And he was just another one of those guys that he liked to toot his horn, sound it off. Not too much. He's honestly, he didn't want to let it, off too bad, because I know how he didn't want certain people to hear that. But when he was around his buddies, oh sure. Same as Bavon. Oh my gosh, Bavon's worse than him. When he's talking crap, he wants everybody to know. Hespers was a bit the same, but more so to his friends, to his audiences, acquaintances, even, whatever. Yeah, Hespers, man. If he believed that he could beat you, he was the most disrespectful ever. He would just talk crap in your face, even though he was actually very insecure. He's one of the most insecure people I've ever come across, and it shows, because when you see him getting his ass beat, which I have, he's just so bad. You could like 20 and 3 him, 20 and like leave him under 10. That's just what happens, and he loses everything. So definitely had bad problems maintaining true confidence, and maintaining himself. Because, see, he was good. I just think he had a short fuse, and his fuse was longer when he thought that he could beat you. When he felt like in the game he's shitting on you, and he doesn't look at you that highly, it definitely, his shot, whatever, it longs better. But yeah, definitely one of those people to talk behind your back, just like Bavon. Make sure I ain't missing. Oh yeah, Pop's move and talk behind you. Sinatra talks behind people's backs. Bovu, y'all know that. The people that know that knows this. XIRQS, Xirqs, Spartans. Y'all know. You know, right? I'm not gonna. But yeah, Hespers, he's just someone that wants to get on the saucer, and he wants another person to jump just so he can say you're a bitch. Whatever, man. Definitely overrated, and he's one of the worst players I've ever come across, so his potential, I'll give him 35. I'll say 35. Now, like I already said what he was good at. He wasn't that good at pushing. He was not a rusher. He was not an outplayer. His way of outplaying you was for you to mess up and him come up or peak. That's pretty much what his specialty was. Pretty much was. Couldn't trap for nothing, by the way, just in case. Yeah. Tears drags. He talked shit to me once, and it was a 1v6 in a party with his stupid sounding friends. I played him on MW2 and seen that he was all frames and nothing else to me. Tears drags. I've seen him on a top list, like a top 20, top 15. I've seen him on there. At the time, I thought he looked pretty good, but I know he's more of a, what's it called? Like an MW2 player, I think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was MW2. Yeah, it is. It is MW2. It is. Tears drags, or the real drags, whatever you want to call them. So to me, he was the one of those players that was good for his time. That's for his time, he was actually pretty good. But as far as, where we came to be, and I think he quit. He didn't stay too long. He quit pretty soon. and he just started hanging out with some friends and playing pretty much for fun, you know. Casual guy afterwards, right? Went back to MW2 and crap. Definitely a pretty good shot. Yeah, shot's not bad. Pretty smart player. I just think if you can outplay him, he's not that good. Everything else about him not bad. I think he had pretty good wall bangs, but not really, because like I said, with wall bangings come outplayment, and if you can outplay him, he's not that great. That's the only reason why I'm about to put him where I'm about to put him. Spawn traps was okay, not the best. Pretty